Well, here we are again. Anyways, welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to another very exciting Spider-Man related video, specifically, of course, with the main movie, Far From Home, related to the end of the third phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and of course, the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, and the continuation of Tom Holland's Spider-Man within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even after the events of Avengers Endgame, which I did do a review about, so if you haven't seen that, you can go check it out. And I basically gave it around like an 8 or 9. I've only seen it once, but I do think that after seeing it again, I would get more of a grasp on the story that they told in that film and have more of an appreciation for the overall arcs of characters that were portrayed in the movie. So, spoilers, of course, like Tony Stark dying and Captain America becoming old, and a lot of characters kind of going through these really great narrative arc shifts, like Thor, of course, and Hulk with Professor Hulk instead of the main Hulk that we know. But overall, I thought the movie was fantastic. Over 11 years of build-up to reach that conclusion in Endgame was phenomenal. My dad and I both loved it. This, on the other hand, though, is a very whole different situation altogether, because you guys know me, I love Spider-Man. We all love Spider-Man. The whole background is related to Spider-Man memorabilia. I have a Sam Raimi Spider-Man plushie behind me. Of course, out of all the incarnations, though, the game is my favorite, Spider-Man PS4. And even though I have been recently harsh with criticisms towards the movie of Spider-Man within the MCU, Homecoming and Far From Home, even though Far From Home isn't even out yet, I do like a lot of aspects about Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU. I like Tom Holland as the actor, as Peter Parker, who portrays Peter Parker. I love his involvement within Civil War and Infinity War. And after watching Homecoming again, the standalone Spider-Man movie, because when he's interacting with the Avengers in the group movies like Captain America Civil War, Infinity War, or spoilers, when he comes back in Endgame, he's always done really well, and he has really great highlights that make him stand out and also make sure that his character is hopefully represented in a way that can connect with audiences and also try and stay true to the main attributes of who Peter Parker is and mainly who Spider-Man is. So in Homecoming, after seeing it again, I've noticed a couple flaws with the film in general. When first seeing it, my initial reaction before the game came out, obviously, was that was pretty good. I gave it a 9 when I first saw it. After seeing it again, I would give it like a 7. And that's because some of the aspects of Peter Parker weren't portrayed as how I think Peter should be portrayed from the comics, and also from just Peter as an individual person. And also with the writing as to how they're kind of handling Peter and responsibility in the same essence, how they coincide with one another. That's the entirety of Peter Parker's character within Spider-Man lore, and mainly in Homecoming, I think that they could have added a bit more stakes, consequences, overall, just way too much stuff for Peter to handle. Even though he is a kid, that's the big excuse I keep seeing, I still think that there should be a major essence of him trying to overcome these huge challenges. The Rubble scene tried to do that, but again, the motivation was completely off, with him thinking about Tony Stark saying, without this suit, or you're nothing without the suit. If you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it. It's 8 in the morning, everyone. I'm tired. But regardless, I like the MCU portrayal of Spider-Man, but I love Spider-Man PS4, and mainly I also love now Into the Spider-Verse, because I was switched at first. But first, I liked Into the Spider-Verse. A lot of people were saying that it was a masterpiece. I said no. The first Spider-Man movie is still my favorite with Tobey Maguire, and I think there were some aspects of it I think could have been done a lot better. I think it was really, really fast-paced. It felt a bit rushed. But like, no, it's the best movie, so I own it now on PlayStation 4. I downloaded it digitally, and after seeing it a second time, I do like it more. I still do not think it's a masterpiece, but I still thoroughly enjoy it as much as I thought I would a second time around. And that's the same thing with, every movie that you see, but mainly with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I love it more after seeing it more, and every aspect about Homecoming, seeing it more, I'm like, they could have done that a bit better. So, all I'm saying is that even though I'm criticizing the movie, it's really early in the morning, and the new trailer just dropped. It has spoilers relating to Avengers Endgame and aspects about Mysterio's character, and I've heard so many rumors about this. I think I know a little bit as to what this trailer is going to hold, but I haven't seen the main trailer yet, and I don't even know what it's going to showcase off. The thumbnail even just shows one of the set photos of Tom Holland shaking, Jake Gyllenhaal's hand as Spider-Man and Mysterio. So I don't know what's going to show, but there are a lot of rumors surrounding the movie that do concern me if they turn out to be true, and given what John Watts did in Homecoming, makes me think that they might be true. But right now, I have no idea what to expect. I'm just assuming that there will be more cool footage of Spider-Man and Mysterio, hopefully, in action, because, like, Vulture in Homecoming, he was the best part about the movie, so hopefully the same thing can be said with Quentin Beck, Mysterio in Far From Home. The Elementals too, Hydro Man, Sandman, Molten Man, I do hope that they are done well, but still, a lot of villains all at once. I think that they should mainly just focus on this odd dynamic that Peter and Mysterio seem to have, from what John Watts is saying, the director, that he's like the cool uncle. It's almost 7 minutes in, I'm sorry guys, but I just want to give you all my thoughts about the trailer first, where my headspace is at. It's 8 in the morning, I got up like a half an hour ago, as you can see my hair's still messy, but I'm ready to see this trailer, and I'm going to watch it right now. I have it pulled up on my download files on my laptop, and I'm ready. It is 3 minutes long. Wow, so Sony is going to go full-on spoilers, I can already tell. Alright, guys, I'm ready. And I hope that, by God, that this is going to be good. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching, because there's some serious spoilers about to come.
Alright, Tom.
But if you have seen Avengers Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
Okay, I'm ready.
Everywhere I go.
Oh, Iron Spider suit. Of course.
I miss him.
I miss him too.
I felt that. Man.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did.
Oh, no, Pete.
You were going to be here after he was gone.
So he is still wearing the Iron Spider suit. Just like that? Okay.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
Oh, snap.
Keep up the good work, because I am going on vacation.
Ah. Okay. I guess. So,
I don't really want to talk to Nick.
So he's still wearing.
Talk to him. I have to talk. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury
Ooh.
voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks? What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
Okay, we'll talk about Zendaya
MJ really likes me.
afterwards.
You're
Okay.
a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man.
All right, this is one of the things I'm most excited to see, their relationship.
It's Mr. Beck.
Mr. Beck.
Someone like you on my
Cool.
world.
Your world, Beck, is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
I don't know if I buy that. That's what I heard.
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
Whew, all right. We'll see.
What else you can use? What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel. Unavailable. But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Come on, man. Okay.
Space, please. You've been to space.
Okay.
What do you want, Peter?
Right, Nick. Yes, he
I want
has.
to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
am Spider-Man.
No, of course I'm not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right. You may not be. ready,
Okay.
but This is my responsibility.
Yo. Okay.
Sometimes people die.
I just always feel like I've
Wow.
got friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
What?
Do you
Dude.
want to step up or not?
Okay.
I gotta get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man. You work for Spider-Man? I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man.
Okay.
New plan.
All right. I can tell that Happy's going to be a comedic highlight of the movie. We're going to see it again, obviously, because I still have a lot of questions, and there's a lot going on. So before we start, that is kind of the essence of what I got in the trailer beforehand, that Mysterio isn't from this world. He's apparently from another timeline or dimension, given what happens in Endgame with the snap. So there's realities bending, and timelines are getting crossed. BS. I'm sorry. If you know anything about Mysterio, he is going to possibly, most likely, given what we know about his character from the comics, I don't know if the writers are going to probably do any change-ups with him in this movie, but he is usually trying to appear as a hero initially, and then he's going to be revealed as the villain causing these problems. So obviously what it looks like, still to me, that Hydro Man, Sandman, and Molten Man are all creations from Mysterio. They're all illusions or manifestations of his powers in this world that he is going to use to try and mess with Spider-Man and the people around him. I don't think he's from another world. I think he's lying. If there's proof, then that's going to be really trippy to see how that makes sense. And there's crazy rumors, crazy rumors that I've heard. One is that Quentin Beck, so I'm glad they actually said it, he is confirmed Quentin Beck. He's not just something else. From what we know, though, there's another rumor. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't know if it could be true. I don't know. Is that Mysterio could possibly be an alternate version of future Peter Parker. So it could be Peter Parker in the future grown up, and he stopped being Spider-Man and instead donned these Mysterio powers and became Mysterio. If he is from another world, if that is true, there's a theory that it could be future Peter and he's trying to undo what happened or whatever to bring Iron Man back or something. I have no clue. That's a huge stretch if that is true. And if it is, I don't know how I feel about that because that's not my Mysterio that I personally love from the comics. Second is Zendaya as Mary Jane, and also with the Iron Spider suit a lot in the trailer, and why he would change back into the normal suit that he has already if he already has that one. Maybe something bad happens to it, but what it seems like it's still in good condition. But anyways, second rumor is that Zendaya is rumored, speculated to be the daughter of Nick Fury. We see, which I didn't notice until people started pointing it out, that there is a scene in the credits of Spider-Man Homecoming where it shows like cool art shots of the cast from that film, and then we see MJ at one point as, you know, Zendaya as MJ with an eye patch over her character. And I don't know, I mean, first it's Michelle Jones, now he's saying he really likes MJ, even though there were really slight indications of that in Homecoming because he really liked Liz. And it seemed like Michelle kind of liked Peter because she's like, oh, I'm not stalking him. I just know a lot about him. And then she kind of looks at him in a flirtatious manner near the end. So I get all the vibes from that, slight hints that Michelle, MJ, likes Peter. From what I saw, it didn't seem like Peter gave a crap about her at all. Like, she's just on the side. He's focusing on Ned. He even calls Liz his girlfriend when he's fighting Vulture in the plane. And then here, again, he's like, I really, really like MJ. I want to spend time with her. I want to enjoy my vacation. And I don't know. It's a different take on what I would assume a Spider-Man movie would be like. And again, some of the shot, Mysterio again, I'm hoping beyond the love of my life that he's going to be the biggest highlight of this movie, just like Vulture was for Homecoming. Some of his effects seemed weird. Like, I love the design. That is pitch perfect Mysterio design right there. I hope that they continue to add on to this by the time that the movie actually comes out, even though we are less than 2 months away now. But usually, again, some of the effects in Homecoming kind of looked unfinished, mainly on Spider-Man. Vulture seemed to look fine in the majority of the scenes he was in, but Spider-Man himself in some of the scenes looked off. So now it seems like the opposite. Now it does look like that they focused more on Spider-Man, I hope, and that they kind of switched the visual effects on him instead of Mysterio, Hydro Man, Molten Man, and Sandman. And again, people keep complaining, too many villains in a Spider-Man movie, and they got 4. They have 4 so far. So, I don't know. And again, Molten Man, I hope he's done justice. They just seem like mindless creatures. They don't seem like their own respective characters. Like, I don't think Hydro Man is Maury Bench. I'm pretty darn sure that Sandman isn't Flint Marko. I don't know if Molten Man is going to be Mark Allen or Liz Allen's brother or whoever else is going to portray him. Because, you know, possibly if they connect him with Liz Allen's brother, or as Liz Allen's brother, from what happens in Homecoming, where Liz has to go and move away because of what happens with her dad, Adrian Toomes, Adrian Allen. You know, there's a lot of stuff. And again, the Iron Spider suit. So he is still wearing that suit. Ooh, whoops. Alarm went off. He is still wearing the Iron Spider suit that we see in, of course, Infinity War and Endgame when he returns. And most likely he's wearing that as a way to honor Tony Stark and his memory, because that's like a huge gift that he gave him. He gave him 2 suits, the Stark suit and the Iron Spider suit, but mainly that one because of how he actually died or Tony died by his side while he wore that suit, and he sees Iron Man. I can't stop thinking about him. I just want to get away from all of it. So all that, I understand why he would want to get away, take a break. But Nick Fury, again, just put a whole freaking stamp in his foot. Like, dude, you've been to space. You fought aliens and Thanos and the Infinity Stones and everything. Like, I can't handle this. Get someone else. Dude, you fought aliens in space, and everything that you've done in Homecoming was immediately taken away when Tony sent the Iron Spider suit to Peter, making that whole arc unimportant. Like, oh, I don't want to be an Avenger yet. I want to stay on the ground, keep doing my hero work. And then Tony gives him the suit anyways because they need to have him help. Or he, by force, because Peter's up in the sky with the Q ship in Infinity War, Tony sends out the Iron Spider armor. It attaches to Peter. Boom, like it smells like a new car in here. And like, I'm here. I'm a stowaway because I can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood. So again, like, the directional twists and vibes that I get from John Watts and the Russo brothers are extremely different from how he's handled in the MCU. And this, again, I get the same exact vibe that I got from Homecoming. After seeing it again, hopefully it'll be different. So I'm going to watch the trailer a second time, and I'm going to focus more onto what they were saying. That was my first time seeing the trailer, but I just really hope that, Mysterio's done justice, Spidey's done justice. The suit, again, the stealth suit, I'm not really too keen on. The upgrade suit looks interesting. I just don't know what the purpose of it is. And also there's a rumor, or at least a theory that I kind of have with other Spidey fans as well, that the upgraded suit is actually going to be crafted by Mysterio. And then Mysterio is going to give Peter these upgrades, and while he's fighting the elementals in that suit, it's going to malfunction and do all these problems because Mysterio will be the one to mess with it and like, oh, Spider-Man's messing up. You gotta get him out of here. I'm the real hero. He's a menace or whatever. And then people might start thinking, oh yeah, he is a bad guy. So, and then that's why he might resort to getting in the stealth suit instead of the upgrade suit to fight off Molten Man and Mysterio, like what we see in the set photos. I don't know. The upgrade suit looks fine. The normal Stark suit would have worked just fine. Hopefully it has a purpose to it. If not, I'm not sure why they would have a total of what seems like the game. 4 suits. Iron Spider, Stark suit, stealth suit, upgrade suit, all in one movie, trying to blend in a cohesive narrative instead of just selling toys. So, I don't know. I really hope that they do serve a significant purpose to the story and a actual function when wearing them. Because the fingerless glove aspect on a stealth suit, I don't really know about that. But okay, let me watch this again without me bickering. I'm sorry. But I want to really focus on what they're saying in this because there's a lot to digest. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet,
I'm glad they did this, that they gave a spoiler warning. That's really, you don't really see that a lot from Sony movies.
Enjoy the trailer.
Okay.
Everywhere I go.
So that's, yeah, interesting that he's still wearing the suit. I was not expecting that.
I'm missing too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
That's sweet. So he's saying that Peter's so important, he's confident that Peter will keep the world safe. That's sweet.
You gonna be an Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
Oh.
I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work because I am going on vacation.
Okay.
Heads up. Nick Fury's calling you.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
What up, dorks?
What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
And then they show Zendaya right after that. Like,
I think MJ really likes me.
it's a big hint.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man.
Okay.
This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world?
Beck is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
Jake is gonna kill it. I already know that.
Saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do.
Into the Spider-Verse? Okay.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel? Unavailable. But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
What do you want?
Fly around like a beast.
I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ,
Okay.
Spider-Man.
No,
So that,
of course not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Right?
Right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires
See?
sacrifice.
He's gonna get
Sometimes
big.
people die.
Molten Man.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the next Iron Man.
You going to step up or not?
I mean, I guess he is. I hope so.
I gotta get you guys out of here. Get on the jet. Who are you? I work with Spider-Man. You work for Spider-Man? I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
Okay, yeah, again, I'm getting a lot of similar vibes and story beats to Homecoming, so I don't know. I really, really hope that they try and reinvent what I would assume a Spider-Man movie would be. It's already teased that Mysterio is going, because we see on the cast list that, spoilers again, Robert Downey Jr. is going to somehow be in this movie. And Mysterio, illusions, mainly illusions, but some people think that he's like Scarecrow from the Batman villains, that he can make you see your worst fears or manipulate what you see instead of just tricking you into seeing something that might be real, like the elementals, instead of an actual fear. So that's their difference, Mysterio and Scarecrow. But because of that, with little cast addition, there might be a scene where Mysterio makes Peter hallucinate Tony's death again, and then he tries and mess with Peter's head, gets an advantage on him. Then we see the Funko Pop with Mary Jane, where she's holding the mace. She obviously knows Peter's Spider-Man, because great, there was no build-up with that already. Just bam, I really want to tell you I like you for some reason, that you're Spider-Man. It's obvious that you're Spider-Man. Great. So that whole build-up connection that I thought we were going to hopefully just build towards the reveal, towards her, is kind of thrown out the window. And again, she wasn't really done that well in Homecoming, because she was just there to kind of belittle Peter and make him feel unimportant because Ned was with him. You guys are losers. Why are you at this lame party? Oh, I don't really, the Washington Monument scene. And then at the end, well, we're friends now, because people don't really call me MJ unless we're friends. Well, I thought you didn't have any friends. Well, I do now. I'm not sure that's how friends work, but okay. So, I don't know. I really, really, really hope that the chemistry between Nick Fury and Peter is good, and that the chemistry, obviously, between Zendaya or MJ and Spider-Man / Peter is good, too. The real-life chemistry between Zendaya and Tom Holland is fantastic. So, I hope that they can somehow put that and transfer it into their characters in this movie. But again, Zendaya as MJ, her portrayal of her, or whoever this character really is, whether that's Nick Fury's daughter or something else, is not really given a whole lot of depth so far. Hopefully they'll expand upon her in the full movie, but right now it seems like the exact same character she was in Homecoming, so I don't know. And Mysterio, again, with that thing, this is my responsibility. So what I just said earlier is that there could be a theory, or there is a theory, that this is an older Peter Parker from another dimension, who isn't Spider-Man anymore. He gave up the mantle, he's now Mysterio, he's going under another alias, but he still wants to help people, but he kind of lost his way, maybe, and because he's from another world, Peter has to stop him and everything, and talking about multiverse, yes, so he's learning about the same stuff we learned about in Endgame with the timelines. When you alter a timeline, you're not changing your past, you're just creating another timeline that splits off. So it's not like the same thing is different, it's that another whole world is created from those changes, pretty much. So that's why Nebula doesn't die in Endgame, where she shoots her past self, because it's technically another timeline, or, what he's saying, the multiverse, another dimension. So, again, there's going to be a lot of teases to the multiverse in this, I assume. Into the Spider-Verse won an Oscar because of it, and the animation style, obviously, that's the main factor, and the storytelling that movie had. But again, they're kind of going the same routes. And with Into the Spider-Verse winning an Oscar, and Spider-Man PS4 being the fastest-selling PlayStation exclusive of all time, there's a lot of expectations to live up to. And I think there was also the comic series is doing really well, I think. His Nick Spencer run, I think a lot of people are enjoying that. So movies, comics, and games, Spider-Man's killing it. Animated movies, now he's killing it. So mainstream live-action movies is where I'm a bit concerned about. But luckily, if it's not too keen on how I would personally see Spider-Man, I still got the game, I still got Into Spider-Verse, and I still got waiting for the sequels for both of those, because you know there's going to be sequels. And his portrayal in Civil War was at least handled excellent. Infinity War was excellent. Endgame, small bits, but still handled really, really well. And Homecoming just, I don't know. It's a movie that I understand why Spider-Man fans would like, and MCU fans, of course, but both of the just fans of the character in general, I can see why they would appreciate aspects of it, or say, yeah, this is my favorite Spider-Man movie. I get it. I still prefer the first, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film over the second. Yes, I think the first movie is better than Spider-Man 2. I can already tell this is not going to be better than either of those movies by a long shot. I'm sorry. I'm not a Raimi fanboy. I'm just saying from a story, visual perspective, and all that, it's going to be a movie that I think certain audiences will really like. I'm sure I'm really looking forward to seeing how it is played out. But right now, I don't think that just a standalone, solo outing of a Spider-Man film like what Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 were, this is, of course, blending in the other Marvel movies. So, again, you mentioned Thor, Captain Marvel. Even though Nick Fury's like, you've been to space, you can handle it, which, yes, he can. But they're making it seem like he's never dealt with anything as serious as this before. Like, yeah, I don't want to do it. So he's just really reluctant to be Spider-Man when really, hopefully, if there's a scene where Mysterio makes him, hallucinate or puts on illusion on Spider-Man to possibly either A, re-experience Tony Stark's death, or B, what I'm hoping for, have a mention or at least a slight reference to Uncle Ben passing away. The suitcase doesn't count. With the BFP, Benjamin Franklin Parker, that doesn't count. That's a cool little Easter egg, yes. That's not a reference to how important Ben is to Peter. He's carrying around his luggage in his briefcase, but how has Ben in this universe fully impacted Peter and his ideals? With great power must come great responsibility. And if they show an illusion with that happening again and give some context and some closure to Tony Stark dying and him thinking, oh my god, I just lost another mentor / father figure in my life, like I did with Uncle Ben, like I almost did with Aunt May, and like I did now with Tony Stark. So if they all blend that well, I think that would work really, really great in that narrative sense. If they don't, then they're missing a big, big opportunity there. And again, I'm looking forward to it. I will see this opening weekend. Am I excited? I'm sad to say, no. I can't believe I'm saying that about a Spider-Man movie. I'm not really that excited, because after what we saw with a standalone outing with Spider-Man in his game, with Spider-Man blending well with other Spider-Man, but mainly the key focus of that is that it was a Miles Morales movie, and he played around the other Spider-Man in that film, like Peter Parker and Spider-Gwen and Spider-Ham and Noir and Penny and all of them. And this, it's Peter. But I get the sense now, it seems like it's more of Mysterio's movie. My world could use someone like you. It's my responsibility. I'm the hero. Look at me. He's obviously not. He's going to be a bad guy. By the end of it, he's going to do something that makes, that has him betray Peter and makes Peter distrust him and go after Quentin Beck on the London Eye or near what a Lego set shows on a plane. Again, so another plane fight might happen. Between Spider-Man and Mysterio. He's flying around like it's nothing, so that's crazy. If he is using real magic, because that's another thing, if he's using real magic and not illusions, but true sorcery, that's insane, and obviously the exact opposite of who Mysterio is. But again, they could get away with that because he's from another world, if it's true. In my opinion, I think he's BSing through his mouth. Quentin Beck's lying like a ton of bricks, and I think that hopefully we will get some, depth to his character in this movie, and also with him expanding upon how Spider-Man affects Mysterio, and how Mysterio is clearly going to be showcased as someone you can trust. And then he'll hopefully do something really emotionally heartbreaking to Peter that will be like, oh, now I gotta take you down for sure. Like, again, Vulture, like, oh, you're gonna use these weapons to hurt these people. So that was standard bad guy stuff 101. I can't let you get these weapons to hurt people. Thanos in Endgame evolved pretty much from how he was in Infinity War, because it was the past Thanos, and he saw everything that happened from that movie and realigned his true vision for what he wanted to do to the world. I'm not saying that Mysterio is going to be as evil as Thanos, but still, I think if he's going to end up being a villain in the movie, I think that he should have some sort of motive that is like, maybe that makes sense. And then Peter will try and stop him to save the day or whatever. But Thanos was just pure evil because, like, I know what I must do now. At first, I thought if I hacked out half the universe, the other half would thrive. Now, I'm going to shred your universe to the last atom. That is a baller move, dude. He literally said, I'm going to start fresh. All y'all are done. I'm going to start from the ground up and build my own universe. That way everyone can be grateful and they'll never know that it was born out of blood and that because you won't be there to stop him. Bam! He's going to kill everyone and make a universe in his own making because of what he thinks is the true vision for the world. I have no idea how Quentin Beck is going to be portrayed. Again, he's obviously not as evil as Thanos, but still, I think that there's a lot to play around with his character in this movie, and I hope to God that he's done justice, just like I hope with Spider-Man, Nick Fury, MJ, and the entirety of the other cast members in the film. So, that is my 2 cents on the recent Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. I'm going to get so much flack for this, I already know it. But again, I like the MCU Spider-Man. Let me rephrase that. All those criticisms you heard, because it's a trailer, because I can already tell where the directors are going and where the writers are going with this. It's a trailer, but I still know because I've seen the other movies. I know who John Watts is as a director, and I can see how the massive shifts are between the Russo brothers handling Spider-Man compared to John Watts. So, if you're excited for it, don't let me stop you. I wish I was half as excited as you guys are, who are super hyped for the film, like I was for the game. You already know me. I spent 2 years plus of my life being hyped for the game. Even just that one trailer, because I know who Insomniac Games are as a developer. I know what they've done in the past, so I can see immediately what they could do with a Spider-Man game. And of course, it shows, and it paid off perfectly. Into the Spider-Verse, it was a really awesome outing with animation. At first, I wasn't really keen on what they were doing with Peter, but then I saw it again, and the more I watched it, I'm like, you know what? This is Miles' movie, and I do respect the change that they did with Peter to craft Miles and make him his own unique individual and separate him from Peter Parker. And because of those changes they did to Peter in this movie to expand on Miles, it was definitely worth it. This, again, Tom Holland's great as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That's a fact. You can't debate that. He's awesome. I think he does a great job representing Peter Parker. But sometimes, again, the writing, the tones, the motivations, the arc that Peter goes through in the standalone movies with Homecoming and what seems like in this seems very off-putting, and I don't know why that is. If it's because of John Watts, because of what he says with Mysterio being the cool uncle, I kind of get that vibe. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it because I want to see it do well. I'm not trying to hate the movie. I don't want it to fail. I just hope that they can really do a good version of Spider-Man in this movie. And, again, main thing is that I know for a fact Jake Gyllenhaal is going to knock it out of the park as Mysterio. And that is fan casting right there from, like, the early 2000s. Like, you know who would be cool as this villain? Oh, your Spider-Man even? Oh, who's that? Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal. Now he's freaking Mysterio. Mysterio is my dad's favorite Spider-Man villain of all time. So he's beyond intrigued to see how Mysterio is going to be portrayed in this movie. And I know for a fact I am too. So anyways, guys, that was, again, my full reaction. Over half an hour long. Over a 3-minute trailer. I'm sorry. But again, I want to get all my thoughts out there to the people who say I'm just a blind Spider-Man PS4 fanboy who just hates on the MCU Spider-Man because it's the common bandwagon trend. No, it's just that I've seen the movie multiple times now, Homecoming, and I can see that there are some flaws with it. I still like aspects of it. I just see that there are quite a bit of flaws with how Peter's portrayed and how the story was crafted in that film, and I can kind of sense the same thing here, but I still hope that it ends up doing well, being well, doing good, having fans receive it well. But again, I already know that there's going to be those discussions. This is the best Spider-Man movie of all time. We'll see. We all I can say is we will see. But anyways, guys, I've rambled on long enough. I'm still tired, but I will, hopefully have a fun time seeing this movie when it does release. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Peace out.